moving into the Minnesota Vikings. Heading up north, moving into that. 7-10 last year. Again, it feels weird that they were 7-10. It just didn't feel like it. These teams don't feel like they should be 7-win teams. Same coach, Kevin O'Connell. Same offense. O'Connell calls the plays, but Wes Phillips in his third season as the offensive coordinator. Projected starting offense. J.J. McCarthy currently being drafted as the starter, quarterback 25 in ADP on Underdog. Sam Darnold, his presumed backup, quarterback 34. Could be a chance we see Darnold for the first couple of weeks, and then J.J. comes in. But I don't feel like that is going to be a Minnesota MO. They are probably going to play McCarthy from day one. Aaron Jones changing teams in the NFC North. He is going from Green Bay to Minnesota, RB19 right now. Ty Chandler is back up at RB46. Justin Jefferson signed the largest deal for a wide receiver in NFL history, shortly to most likely be surpassed by CeeDee Lamb at some point. But Justin Jefferson, wide receiver 4 currently, not being drafted at the 101. Thank God. Jordan Addison, wide receiver 39. Brandon Powell, wide receiver 24. And fuck it, Trent Sherfield. 124. Did I say 24?
Yes,
yeah.
you did.
Yeah. Don't draft Brandon Powell at wide receiver 24 unless you're in my leagues. Then draft him at wide receiver 24. Trent Sherfield, not even drafted, but he is the 4th receiver on the Minnesota Vikings depth chart. Tight end 1, TJ Hockenson, currently the tight end 14. Obviously coming off injury. Josh Oliver, the tight end 2, he is not being drafted. Diving into the highlights here. Starting with Ryan, he points out TJ Hockenson, says it is an insane value if he plays week 1. Hawk has been a top 5 tight end in fantasy football. So if he plays week 1, that is ridiculous value.
Do we think he actually does play in week 1, though?
I don't think he does. It's probably more like week 3, but even then, TJ Hockenson at 14 is insane because what do we say every year? You can find a top 10 tight end on the waiver wire every single week. Ryan has built a top 5 tight end of streaming tight ends every single year.
That's what he does.
He's built Evan Ingram 3 straight seasons off of fucking Donald Parham and Cole Kmet and these fucking schlubs that are on the waiver wire. He's built Evan Ingram out of them. Again, you have to be right every single time you do it, but it is possible. But TJ Hockenson at tight end 14 is a steal, especially if he is playing week 1. We'll start in the backfield this time instead of the receiver room. Aaron Jones, RB19. Bender, Aaron Jones likes to not be on the football field for a good amount of time in the fantasy football season. When he is on the field, at least in Green Bay, it felt very frustrating at times. Yes, he ended pretty well on the season, but as a guy who's had him, it was frustrating watching games where he just looked non-existent for a lot of time. He goes to a different team. I wouldn't say this offense is much better than his offense in Green Bay, but he's not being drafted as high, presumably, as previous years. Do you like Jones at 19, or are you staying away?
I'm okay with where he's being taken right now. If I go wide receiver heavy early in my draft, then I would consider grabbing Aaron Jones if I needed to, attack the running back position. The problem is that, is he 30 years old? He's not coming off of a great year. Like you said, he gets banged up. One of the issues though also is that he's going from an offense where the coach loves to run the ball, right, to an offense where they don't love to run it as much. And, Kevin O'Connell and Wes Phillips they're all about throwing the football. So, I kind of worry about what kind of a workload Jones is going to have, because you'd think that they're like, well, he's 30 years old. We have to make sure that we keep him fresh throughout the entire time. So does he get spelled a little bit too often or whatnot? I think if you've gone, in that realm of taking like 3 wide receivers and a tight end with your first 4 picks, and you're like, do I go for a quarterback here or do I hit the running back position? And, you tilt into an Aaron Jones. It's not, you're settling for Aaron Jones. You're not targeting Aaron Jones.
That's fair. Go ahead, Josh.
I don't hate him as a zero RB kind of target. I mean, somebody that you can get probably in the 6th or 7th round. But I mean, when you look at the way that this RB room is built, these guys are designed to catch passes more than anything, not really like be heavy workload kind of running backs. Like, I feel like if they can get 330 carries out of Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler combined, I think they might actually be happy with that, as weird as that may sound, which is strange considering they're going into the season with a rookie quarterback.
So let's do something I never do, and let's play zero RB strategy here for a sec. Would you rather? I 3 straight running backs in the first 3 rounds. I'm a crazy man. That might change this year because I think people hate running backs now. So I might have to bite on a receiver, and I'll be like, oh, that's fine. I can still get a guy like ETN in round 4. But I will go with guys 6th round and on. Aaron Jones is RB19. The first guy being drafted in the 6th round is RB16. We'll go down a little further after that. Kenneth Walker or Aaron Jones? I don't think I need much of an explanation here, but is anybody taking Aaron Jones over Kenneth Walker?
No.
Not Kenneth Walker for me.
Not a chance, right? So that one's easy. Alvin Kamara or Aaron Jones? Bender.
Kamara.
Josh.
Yeah, Kamara, easy. I have him as a top 10 RB this year.
Not even close at that point. Not even close. David Montgomery or Aaron Jones? I think this one's interesting. Bender.
Yeah, this is where it kind of tightens up. And this is where, I'll probably take David Montgomery because, it's so funny. We keep elevating Jahmyr Gibbs up and up and up and up. Did we forget that Dan Campbell said it last year? He's like, I like a guy to get 15, 20 carries and pound that rock. And then the other guy is like my flash guy, my pass catching and everything like that. It's still David Montgomery over there. So I'll take him in this situation over Aaron Jones.
Josh.
Yeah, David Montgomery. He's going to have 12 plus touchdowns anyway. So, I'm going to take that all day.
Aaron Jones at 19. Najee Harris or Aaron Jones? Najee Harris is RB20.
I'm going to go with
How much do you bet on Arthur Smith running it so
He's
much?
agonizing over this right now.
That Najee Harris is actually fantasy relevant. Keep in mind, that offensive line still sucks, but Arthur Smith is there.
It is Arthur Smith, but, listen, I'm more concerned about who the 3rd string tight end is in Pittsburgh than really, the running back room. They'll share the carries between Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris.
Jaylen Warren at 25 looks way better than Harris at 20.
Yeah, I'll probably take.
Honestly, they still both look good.
I'll probably take Aaron Jones over Najee.
Okay, Josh.
I would take Najee.
Okay, so this is why it's interesting. I think Aaron Jones is a little high right now. Ramondre Stevenson or Aaron Jones? Howard.
Ramondre, yeah.
Josh.
Ramondre.
Okay, a little interesting here. Jonathan Brooks or Aaron Jones? Howard.
All right, I'm going to go with Aaron Jones here, though I will qualify it in saying that if I know that I'm going to target like Chuba Hubbard as a handcuff here, because what I want that Carolina offense. Like, what Dave Canales did for Rachaad White. And maybe
you might be the only person in the industry saying they want the Carolina offense in fantasy.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, like, if you're going 0 RB and you're waiting on the running back position, I'd take Jonathan Brooks, knowing that, because what happens is, you get the new coach, the new system who's in there. So the guys who are there already really have to endear themselves to the coaching staff. Jonathan Brooks was picked by this coaching staff. They used good, strong draft capital in order to acquire him. So they wanted to be Jonathan Brooks. And seeing what Dave Canales' system did for Rachaad White, say what you want about the underlying metrics. Yards after contact weren't great. Yards per carry weren't like phenomenal. It was volume based. And I think when you've got a quarterback like Bryce Young, you need a volume based running back. So I'd take Aaron Jones here over Jonathan Brooks because Jones has the job right now, but it's real close for me.
Josh.
It's Brooks for me.
If you could guarantee me Brooks is in there week 1, I think it's
even if he's not.
Oh, if you're guaranteeing me that he's in there week 1, but I got to see what he looks like in camp. I got to see what he looks like.
I agree with that. So I'm just going to go through these quick because, again, I feel Aaron Jones is super high right now. And I'm just going to say a name. And if you think you would take Aaron Jones over this person, just speak up. Zamir White or Aaron Jones?
White.
I still have Jones higher.
Okay. I feel like that one's decently close.
That one's close.
Yeah.
That one's close.
DeAndre Swift.
I'll take Jones.
Okay. Josh.
I also would take Jones.
Okay.
I mean, unless you could tell me that DeAndre Swift is actually going to do something productive more than twice a year.
That's fair. I completely agree with that. And a lot more mouths to feed in that offense. I'm going to jump around a bit. I'm going to skip 25 and 26. James Conner at 27 or Aaron Jones at 19.
Connor.
If you're going 0 RB.
Connor,
right? He feels low.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert at 28.
You can't bank on the touchdowns for Raheem Mostert again.
I agree.
You can't do it. I'll say Jones there.
Last two. Tony Pollard as your 0 RB or Aaron
Pollard,
Jones.
Easy. Pollard. Easy
Yeah, probably Pollard.
And then last one, we'll talk about him later. Javonte Williams or Aaron Jones as your 0 RB.
Javonte.
Yeah, Javonte.
Javonte Williams is RB 31 currently in ADP going at the end of the 9th round.
I get him every single
Jones
best ball draft.
So Jones is going very high compared to what's happening here. Now, if you're a guy that goes RB early like myself, and I'm not an Aaron Jones person, if you told me you took Jones as your 3rd running back, fine. I'm not even doing that. I don't love it. I personally don't love it. I think maybe he falls as we get.
I was going to say, I'm curious to see how much his ADP might start slipping as we get more into redraft season.
And just for reference, some names I skipped over: Jalen Warren, Zach Moss, and Trey Benson. Those are some other names. Which again,
I would take Jones over Benson.
I would take Jones over all three.
And that's where I think there's a good debate between all those. I brought up the other ones because it's crazy to me that Pollard and Williams are that much lower than Aaron Jones. That's why. I'll get Pollard in the 9th round every single day and twice on Sundays. Josh, over to you. In the receiver room, Jordan Addison, dog of a rookie year. We love USC wide receivers on this show, Juju Smith-Schuster notwithstanding. And we pretty much called it on the live draft show last year, saying the Vikings did to the Chargers what they did to the Eagles. With
the Eagles made up for it. We're good.
Yep, with the Justin Jefferson and Jalen Reagor situation. They did that with the Chargers taking Quentin Johnston and them getting Jordan Addison falling in their lap. He's wide receiver 39 currently. After last year's performance, it feels lower than it should be, but his quarterback situation is a coin flip right now. We don't know what J.J. McCarthy is going to be or if Sam Darnold's even going to play for a few games. Do you like him at 39? Are you staying away because the quarterback situation's uncertain? What are you feeling?
Yeah, this is roughly about where I have him in my projections, but I can definitely see him outperforming this ADP. You know, we literally just talked about this is Kevin O'Connell wants to throw the football, right? Will it change with a rookie quarterback? I don't know. But let's work under the assumption that they're still going to throw the football a ton. If TJ Hockenson misses a few games, that's more targets for Jordan Addison, right? If TJ Hockenson doesn't miss a few games, there's still 3 top targets in this offense for them to each get 7+ targets every single week. Mm-hmm. And that's not an exaggeration. Jordan Addison was on pace for over 800 yards without Kirk Cousins. And then in separate instances, without Justin Jefferson. He was going to have a good rookie season regardless. He still scored 10 touchdowns last year as a rookie. How many times has Justin Jefferson done that? And he's been in the league 4 years.
I'm going to guess 0. Oh, 1.
He's done it once. He has done it once. But that's the point I'm getting at. Justin Jefferson, for as great as he is, doesn't find the end zone maybe as much as we might want for a top wide receiver target. Jordan Addison proved right away he can score a lot of touchdowns. So even if he still, kind of hovers in that 7, 8, 900 passing or receiving yard range, if he brings the touchdowns and he has a Cortland Sutton type season in his sophomore year that Sutton had last year, I mean, that's still a top 36 wide receiver, in my opinion. He pays off at ADP, but there's still plenty of room for upside given the possibility of increased passing volume, the possibility that Hockenson maybe isn't ready by the start of the season and maybe has some hiccups from coming back from a late season injury. I love the value. Justin Jefferson's the easy pick. I get it. We don't need to spend a lot of time talking about him on really any preview show, right? we want the guys that maybe can outperform ADP. Jordan Addison can be that guy.
For reference, where Jordan Addison is currently going, it is a heavy filled receiver 6th round, according to ADP on Underdog, with guys ranging from Xavier Worthy all the way down to DeAndre Hopkins in the 6th round. Guys in the names of Worthy, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin, Roma Dunze, Ladd McConkey, and Keon Coleman. He is currently flanked by 2 rookies, Roma Dunze and Ladd McConkey, in terms of ADP. So if you listen to last week's show, he is mixed in with that bunch between Ridley and Hopkins, along with a lot of those rookies where people seem to be putting them as it were right now. Moving into the bets here, top 3 favorites. Ryan, aforementioned Justin Jefferson over 1,300.5 receiving yards is the favorite on FanDuel, minus 110. He averaged 100 yards per game last year without Cousins. That's pretty damn good, if one might say. That is pretty damn
he played 10
good.
games last year and had 1,074 yards. Like, that's insane.
Pretty good. Josh, you have Jordan Addison over 775.5 receiving yards. That's minus 112 on FanDuel. And Bender, you have, whenever the prop lands, you are over 900 rushing yards for Aaron Jones.
No, did I write over?
No.
Under.
Greater, less than. No, that's greater than 900 rushing yards. That's
Where did I wrrite that?
No, because his pick would be on the left side of that, which means it would be less.
Wherever the prop lands, I'm under.
I
900
don't do
yards.
math.
Yeah, it's under 900. It's under 900 whenever it happens.
Okay, under.
I'll
900.
bet it down. I'll even say if it goes down to 850, I would still take the under on that. I just don't have any faith in that in him racking up a ton of rushing yards here.
Boom.
I'm with you on that one.